Time is now. Right here is where you win. Forget about your past mistakes. You giving up the flat in cover two. You're not helping your safety out with that deep ball. I'm gonna give you all the tips you need right now to help you play better at cover two corner. So we're gonna go over alignment and assignment. So first, cover two is a zone coverage with two deep safeties. Depending on your front, you're gonna have 5, 4, or maybe 6 underneath coverage guys. So with the alignment for corners, cover two is called a hard corner. So we got one single receiver, you're gonna be either head up or you're gonna be outside shade. Even if you got 2 receivers or even trips, I still like to be head up or outside shade, meaning that outside shoulder, that number 1 receiver. I know some coaches, they like to go, if there's trips or twins, they like to get their corner and play that flat from in between number 1 and number 2. So they'll align their corner apexing number 1 and number 2. I don't like doing that because as you get older, coaches and quarterbacks, they like to get a pre-snap read of the defense. And if you inside of number 1 or apex number 1 and number 2, they gonna know you're not a man. They gonna know you in some type of zone. And if you got 2 deep safeties, they gonna know you in cover 2. So I like to keep everything same. So you're either gonna head up or you're gonna be that outside shade of number 1. If you don't know, we count from the outside in, meaning the outside receiver, the wide out is gonna be number 1. The receiver next to him is gonna be 2. If there's a third receiver going in, it's 3. If not, we start from the other side. So with your alignment, like I said, we either head up or outside shade. What's your responsibility is you are a hard corner, a flat defender. So your pass responsibility is you got a flat area. The flat area is anywhere from the top of the numbers to the sideline, from the line of scrimmage to about 8 yards. That's the flat area. So you got to cover any route that can get into that area. Now for your run responsibility, you are a contained guy. So you should not be running all the way inside and letting somebody bounce outside. That means you got to contain. You contain the outside and you force everything in for the alley player, the safety, or any linebackers flowing outside to make that tackle. So let's go over how do we make plays from that assignment. We're gonna start with the run. Take it on the block. Like I said, your run responsibility is you are contained, meaning you gotta keep everything outside free and you force to run inside. So if you take it on the block, if it's a receiver or a lead blocker coming outside, you got to take on the block and be outside of that blocker. You either take it on with your inside shoulder and keep your outside arm free, or you can take it on with 2 hands, jack them up, and make sure you play and fight hard to get outside. What you don't want to do is you have this block and you try to beat to make the tackle inside, and that block pins you, seals you, and the running back get outside of you. Or you don't want to jack the block up with 2 hands and then last second fight to get inside. Again, that running back's going to bounce outside of it. So you got to be disciplined and you got to understand that you got 10 other guys on the field that's going to help you make the play. Your play is not you fighting that block and making that tackle there. Your play is making sure you fight hard outside and letting that running back get inside and somebody else makes the tackle. Sometimes the play is not you actually making a tackle. The play is actually you doing your assignment so that somebody else on your team can make the tackle. So again, being disciplined and understanding that you are that contained guy is going to help you make that play. If you bounce outside the block, you make the tackle. But if you force them inside, you still make the play by allowing somebody else on your team to make that tackle. So let's go to pass responsibility. How do we make plays on the pass? Like I told you, you are a flat defender, meaning anything from the top of the numbers to the sideline, about 8 yards. Our alignment, we're head up number 1 or we're outside shade of number 1. Let's go from the single receiver. So sometimes if it's single receiver with 4 wide, that means you got trips to the opposite side. Some coaches might just have you man up. If you man up, you man up. You follow him wherever he goes. But if the coach want to stay cover 2, want to stay zone, you got to make sure that you're fighting for this receiver to stay inside of you. You do not want to give him a free outside release because he's going to stretch the safety. The safety's not going to be able to get off that hash because like I said, you might got trips to the opposite side. So that safety's responsibility, even though he's a deep half guy, he's got to play the post of number 3 because typically that's what coaches like to go with. That's what offense like to do. They like to hit that post down the middle of the field. So that safety's going to have to help with that post, another number 3 at the opposite side. So you got to help him by not allowing Number one on this side, getting outside and running down the hash. So I'm running down the field. So you got to make sure that you're getting the hands on, you're jacking him up, and you forcing him to get back inside so it's easier for that safety to make a play on the ball playing from that hash. If there's two receivers, twins, same thing. You still want to make sure that he has an inside release, but you got to keep your eyes on number two. So this is number one, number two's inside. We reading 2-1. What I mean is we got our eyes on number two, but we see number one in our peripheral. So number two is going to help us understand what we're doing with one. What I mean is snap of the ball. Number two comes in the flat right away. We know we got to get to that flat, because what coaches' concepts like to do is they like to take number one and clear out and just run a quick flat right there and just hit it for a couple yards. What we don't want to do is chase this go route or try to fight to be hard outside, and then they just hit us in the flat right there, especially on like a short down distance, second and three, third and three, or fourth and two, something like that. They want to get to the flat right away. You got to make sure that you read a number two. If number two, snap of the ball, goes across the field, now we only got one receiver here we got to worry about. So now if he goes deep, we can still trail underneath that. Even though we're a flat defender, we can help that safety out because there's nothing else coming backside. Let me pause right there. If number two goes away and we still got this one receiver that we're worrying about, you still got to keep your eyes inside to see if there's going to be a running back leaking out or somebody from the backside crossing the field, dragging it all the way across. So we got to be eye disciplined. All right, so we got to understand what we're looking at on the field. Again, from twins, a nice route that they like to run in twins and cover, if we're showing cover two, is they're going to run a smash route, meaning number one is going to run the hitch. He's going to run and sit down 5 yards right here. Number two is going to get up the field and run a corner route in that little void area over there. So we got to understand how to help our safety to play that, but also play the hitch. Obviously, we don't want to backpedal. So if that receiver's coming off the line of scrimmage, we're sitting here, we're not backpedaling, we're going to jack him up. We're still keeping our eyes on number two. If number two don't go away right now, we still got to make sure if he comes up the field, he don't come outside. So as we're sitting here, like I said, we're 8 yards from the line of scrimmage. All right, that's our zone area. So as we're on this hitch right here, we're watching number two get up the field, and we should be expecting, if that's a hitch right there, we should expect the corner route. That's a basic concept that a lot of offense like to do. So we should be expecting that he's going to throw this corner. So what you could do to make a play on this, if you're expecting that corner route, film study is going to help you understand that. So if you're expecting that corner route, you sitting on this hitch, telling the quarterback that you playing this hitch. The quarterback's read in the smash concept is he's reading the corner. He's reading you. So the coaches tell the quarterback, if he sits on the hitch, you throw in the corner. If he drops on the corner, you throw the hitch. So he's reading you. So you want to make a play, you want to bait the quarterback to throw the play that you want to hit to. So you're going to make him think that you sitting on this hitch, but as he starts to get into his throwing motion, you already break to that corner route and you make a play on the ball. I've made lots of plays on smash concepts in college by baiting the quarterback to make him think that he has that open. It's an easy concept to understand. Film study is going to help you understand it, but being in a play and understand what the offense likes to do with that concept is they really want to throw the home run hitter. The home run hitter is that corner route in cover two because that's the voided area. So if they see you sitting down, the quarterback already knows I'm going to the corner. So as you get into your alignment, sit, hit, you hear, jam up, see number two, you sit right here about 7 yards. All right, as the quarterback gets in the throwing motion, you break on that ball and make a play on it. Everything's got to be quick though. You can't be jogging. You can't not trust what you see. You have to trust what you see, meaning you got to trust that number two's going up in the field. Your film study has told you that he's probably going to hit that corner, and that's how you make more plays on that. Now, another concept that they like to do in trips is flood combination. What the flood combination is, number one is going to go deep for the clear out. Number two is probably going to run an intermediate, meaning he's going to run 10 yards out. And then number three is going to run it to the flat. And again, that quarterback's taught to read you to see wherever you don't hit, he's going to hit the opposite. You got 3 guys in this area. Typically, there's only 2 guys that could cover those 3. So the quarterback's going to hit the open guy. So to help you out playing both routes, you could play the flat and the intermediate route because they're only about 5 to 7 yards apart. So what you want to do, again, head up or outside shade number 1. You're reading still number 2. Even though there's trips, you're reading number 2. So film study is going to help you understand, all right, sometimes they like to run flood out of this trips set. So you got to know, even though you're reading number 2, your eyes is kind of still looking at number 3. So as the quarterback says go, you're patting your feet, you're getting hands on number 1, making sure you're still forcing him inside. Reading number 2. As 2 goes up the field, you're sinking with number 1, getting underneath. You're still seeing number 3. Number 3 is probably going to come in the flat right now. So the flat area is right there at 5 yards. The intermediate area is right here at about 12 yards. So you can play both routes from right here about 7, 8 yards. If the quarterback throws that intermediate, he got to throw a high over your head and make it come straight down, which is impossible to do. So you can make a play on that. Or if he throws this flat, you could drop down as quick as you can, 3 yards, either bat it down or you blow that receiver up and knock that ball out. So that's going to help you make more plays in that flood combination. What you don't want to do is stick to one route. You don't want to stick like glue on one route and zone because there's going to be somebody else in your area that's going to be open. So you got to understand how to play against what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to make you stick to that one route. So that's why eye discipline is very important. You got to understand where the guys that could come from the field to your area, and you got to understand what the offense is trying to do, what they're trying to hit. So help yourself bait the quarterback a little bit more. Play both routes. You play both routes by understanding where the routes are and understanding how to stick your foot into the ground to break on the route that the quarterback is throwing. What I mean is, let's say that flood combination. You got a flat, you got an intermediate. You're about 7, 8 yards right here. As the quarterback gets to his throwing motion, typically when a quarterback gets here, he's throwing the ball. So whatever receiver he's looking at when his elbow's here, you're breaking on it right away. All right. So you got to put yourself in position to, you can either break down or you could break back. All right. So you got to be focused on your body language. You got to be focused on your ability to break, to know exactly how you're going to break off the balls of your feet, hips hinge, good athletic position. And you break it as far as you can. As hard as you can, wherever that quarterback is throwing. That's how you make those plays. You do not wait until the ball is thrown, because if you wait till the ball is thrown before you break, it's going to be too late. Especially if you got a good quarterback, they got a nice strong arm, it's going to be too late. So you got to make sure when he gets to his throwing motion right here, typically the ball's coming out. Once he gets here, that ball's coming out. You're not going to find many Patrick Mahomes type quarterbacks that can look one way and throw the other way. If that happens, shake his hand and get to the next play. But trust me, once he gets to this motion and he's looking at his receiver, break on that receiver. This is going to help you make more plays. Look, the key thing is knowing your alignment. All right, cover 2, like I said, head up or outside shade. Knowing your assignment. Your assignment is you're a hard, flat defender. All right, you got the flat and pass. You got contain and run. And also, eye discipline. Reading 2 to 1, knowing who can get into your area right away, and then you play it. You bait the quarterback, you see where he's throwing, and you make a play on the ball, all right, wherever he's going. Look, I hope this helped you. Remember, be better than they say. Until next time, let's get it.